Hello, I'm Jessica Janis, and today I am introducing to you my dad.
Al Janis.
And he is the owner of the company Asset Biz. So, Dad, can you tell me a bit about your business and what you do?
Yes, Assets Biz is a vehicle servicing and recovery business. Basically, we repossess cars for financial institutions. We cover Illinois, Indiana, Wisconsin, and parts of Missouri.
What kind of job responsibilities do you have?
Well, as the owner of the company, obviously I'm responsible for everything. As my dad once said, anything that goes wrong, you're responsible for. So, as well as anything going right. So, I'm responsible for payroll, responsible for sales, marketing, and daily operations of the business.
Al, it's Mike. Give me a call.
How many hours do you work?
Owning your own business is a non-stop 24/7 responsibility. But realistically, no one can work 24/7. But I put in probably between 10 to 11 hours a day in the office or on the phone or online doing personnel issues, dealing with our clients, and working on accounting.
How long did it take you to become a manager?
Well, becoming a manager is not an easy feat. When I started working for a large corporation, you usually, and most people start at entry level, which I did. And depending on your skill set and how well you do and how much you like what you do and how well you adapt to your environment, usually will dictate what levels you achieve. And in this industry, which is part of the financial industry, because we deal our end of the business, we're dealing with nothing but financial institutions, finance companies, banks, and any other lending institution. My prior background was working for a bank and a financial institution. And when I started there, it took me about five and a half years to work my way up to my first managerial position.
What are the advantages of your work as a manager?
Well, as a manager, if I was just a manager, you're the one who's basically in charge of whatever department or office that you're in. I'm a manager as well as the owner, so I'm in charge of virtually everything that goes on within the business, which is sometimes a very daunting task. We cover three and a half states. We have approximately 25 full-time employees and another 45 contracted employees. So there's a lot to keep you busy, and every day is another challenge with different issues that pop up. One thing about our industry is it's never the same from day to day, minute to minute, or month to month. Disadvantages, in every position, there's always a disadvantage. Owning your own business and being a manager, you're always on the clock. Your free time. There's an image people have of someone who's self-employed, that they're at the golf course or they're on vacation or have a lot of free time, and it's just quite the opposite. Your time is usually not your own. You can carve out some free time, but in order to be successful, most businesses require you to have a hands-on approach.
What goals do you have for the company in the future?
Well, we've been in business now 19 years, which, it's a great milestone. We're going to be hitting 20 years next year. We've been very fortunate. We've gone through some really good times with the economy and some very challenging times with the economy. But we've managed to maintain a pretty steady operation. We haven't had any huge drop-offs in business, and our growth has been sure and steady. Right now we recover or repossess around 2,000 cars a month, and our goal is to usually increase our overall productivity by about 10% year over year. So our goal for next year is to grow by about another 10%.
What do you think are the most important skills to be successful at work?
Well, probably one of the first things I learned as a manager, as a young manager, and then you carry that with you through your career, is communicating. You have to be able to communicate with your employees, with your other managers, with your clients, with your customers, and with each other. Part of communicating, probably the biggest part of communicating, is listening. If your listening skills aren't what they should be, you can't communicate very well.
Would you recommend students in this class to go into your type of work? Why or why not?
That's a good question. This industry is challenging. It's fast-paced. There's a lot of excitement. There's a lot of detail. You're dealing with a lot of large financial, national and international financial institutions, and you're governed not only by your own state and federal laws, but also by their guidelines and the laws they have to follow. So it requires a lot of knowledge and background, which I learned through my prior career, working for a large financial company, and working for a large company in their financial area. So you would need some of that background to be successful, but you also have to be dedicated. Once you go into business for yourself, it's, the old saying is the buck stops here, and it does. There's no one I can turn to. There's no one I can push it to. Whatever happens that's good, it's great. Whatever happens that's bad, I have to live with it.
What are one or two things you look forward to when you go into work every day?
Well, when I come in, one of the first things I do, we have a video surveillance system that covers our whole building, our storage yard, our warehouse. And when I walk in the morning and turn the lights on, I like to see how many cars came in overnight. Gives me an idea of what the day is going to be like and how well our drivers did. And if there's not too many, you feel, okay, what happened, why not? And if there's a lot, it's you're going to have a challenging day just to get through all of the work that's required once the cars are picked up. So I enjoy the excitement and the camaraderie we have with our employees and our drivers, and I enjoy working with our clients.
If there was one thing you could change about your job, what would it be?
I guess if there's one thing I could change, it would be that I could somehow try to figure a way to carve out a little bit more free time to spend with my family and do things that are a little more recreational. Being self-employed in this kind of an industry, you really have to be here to be hands-on, to watch and see what happens, to monitor your progress. There are times you can get away, but it's not like working for a large corporation where you get your 5 weeks vacation a year and you can move on. But there are also parts of it that are very rewarding that make up for that. But I think if there was something I could change, that would be it. I would like to be able to get a little bit more free time.
Thank you, Dad, for making this video with me.
You're welcome, Jessica. I appreciate the opportunity. I hope I didn't scare anybody away from maybe starting their own business. It is a lot of fun. It's very rewarding, and watching something grow from the beginnings where we were nothing to almost a 20-year career of developing a business and providing a source of income for my employees. Thank you.